Hello, everyone, and welcome back to all the young dudes.
Whoa!
Welcome back to Marauders at Midnight. I'm Isabella,
And I'm B.
and you already know what we're talking about because I just said it. We're talking
No, we're
about,
not talking about that anymore.
oh,
Change my mind.
okay,
Don't want to learn about
let's
Grant.
just
Don't care.
let's just talk about our days, I guess. So, honey,
Ugh,
how
my
was
day
your
was
day?
horrible. I've been talking to you all day.
Ugh, I'm so
Kidding. Love
sorry.
you. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, we are talking about all the young dudes. Well, I'm teaching B about it because she's never read it, and I've read it
I
once.
I read like a paragraph of the first chapter and was too thrown off by Remus being in an orphanage that I stopped. Because I was like,
Yeah,
no, not the Hope and Lyle slander. No.
yeah. Um,
Or a boys' home, whatever he was in.
Yikers. But I looked it up. This fan fiction came out in 2017, or it started in 2017. So it was earlier fandom. There's a lot of different things compared to now.
Mars
And that's
bar.
why why would you remind me of the Mars bar?
I forgot what the Mars
Sorry.
bar means.
I forgot about it, so I'm gonna write down Mars bar.
Oh
Okay?
shit. Doesn't David Bowie also have to do with it?
No.
There's a star man.
I love David Bowie. But anyways, what was I saying? I was saying the reason why the fandom now, a lot of the newer people don't like this fan fiction is because it's so different. And
What? People don't
they're
like all the
like,
young dudes?
yeah, there's problematic things which I don't know enough
No, it
about. I
has.
feel
Doesn't
like,
that fanfiction choices have a lot of problematic things, but everybody ignores it?
yeah, it
Isn't that the
does.
one that my favorite James Potter quote or like line is from?
I don't know, I haven't read it.
I think it is. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I
But
keep interrupting you. My bad.
um yeah, a lot of the newer people are like, "Oh, the young dude sucks. It's so like bland, but it's so in my opinion, it's so well written and it's stop mocking me. And it's so like it's just such a good fan fiction if you're getting into the Marauders
It's
and you
very
want to know.
long.
It's longer than the Bible,
Is
apparently.
it actually? Oh my God.
Yeah. Um, which is why I didn't read it. I listened to the audiobook on YouTube,
Oh,
which is
were you
by
recording an audiobook for something?
I was, but I stopped at the second episode because I can't read out loud.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay.
But yeah, there was an audiobook by Fleurs Uploads. They did the entire fan fiction. Props to them because I could not be that committed. It's a really
I
good
hate
one
reading out
too.
loud.
And every time I've heard her voice since then, like in a regular video, I'm like, oh, it's Remus. It's
Oh,
Remus
it's
Lupin. Because it's in his perspective. So I was like, oh, it's Remus talking.
Remus Lupin is this year. We should get David Thewlis to make an audiobook of it.
Oh my god. Please.
He would absolutely, he would.
He would. He can come on the podcast.
David Thewlis, if
Imagine.
you're listening to this, please come on our podcast. We're big fans,
Please. Please. And thank you.
especially Isabella.
Oh, I love him so much. He's so funny. I love his Instagram.
Imagine if we get popular and we can actually get like people on the podcast.
I
The
know.
Weasley twins, Ginny, Neville,
We're
Harry fucking
manifesting
Potter
this.
himself. I'm kidding.
Oh my
Daniel Radcliffe
god.
is not coming on our podcast.
Yeah. I
Gotta
think
be
he's kind of
realistic,
done with talking about Harry Potter anyway, so
which I get it.
I get it. I get it.
After the
Whoa.
reunion, I get it.
We both said I
Stop.
get it. I get it.
Stop it.
Okay.
You know who I would really, really, really like to have on the podcast,
Not Tom Felton. Sorry.
but we
Go.
can't? Narcissa. I
Why would
would
you
have
say
loved
that?
I
Oh
would
my
have
god.
loved to have the chance to talk to her. That would have been oh, I'm gonna cry. That would have been
No,
amazing.
why are you making this so
I'm
sad?
sorry. Oh, I'm gonna cry. But like think about it. That would have been amazing. I would have loved to be able to
It
like
would.
talk to her. Or fucking Helena Bonham Carter. I would like to talk to her. Do you think she
Mm.
would do our podcast?
I don't know. I've also seen that she agreed with
Oh shit,
JKR.
yeah, never mind. Never mind, I forgot about that. I
I
forgot
don't
about
know.
that.
I'm not trying to start a controversy.
No,
I'm just
I
saying what
no,
I've
I know it.
read.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember this now.
But
She's just
anyways,
so she's just so and I don't want her to be
yeah.
but so I just forget about it sometimes. Who else? Sorry, there's someone else, but I can't think of it.
Um, oh God, I'm blanking. I would love to
Cedric
have Rupert
Diggory.
Grint. I just think he's so. He would never. He
No,
would
he would never.
literally
No.
never in a million
Thinking
years do
about how
that.
Robert Pattinson went to a book signing and the only book he signed was fucking Goblet of Fire.
He's so real.
Bro would not
I would
sign
too.
Twilight.
I would not either.
Yeah. I wonder who has that book.
Anyone who has connections to the Harry Potter cast and you're listening to this, please connect us to them. Unless it's J.K.
Yeah.
Rowling, then don't.
You know,
Ew.
no JK Rowling.
Okay, let me get into this because I have a lot to say, I think. Um, so this first paragraph is very controversial for you, especially.
Yeah.
Also, I copied this from Wikipedia because I didn't feel like writing everything, so I just copied a few little things that I could talk about. So
Wikipedia.
All the Young Dudes by Miss King Bean 89 on
You mean
AO3.
Taylor Swift? Isn't that
Yeah,
like a thing? People
it
like joke
is.
that it's Taylor Swift.
Some people are convinced, but
Really?
I think it's too British to be her.
Yeah,
Like
I'm sorry. No, Taylor Swift is not sitting around writing fan fiction.
she does not know enough British lingo to like have it's definitely written
How did you
by a
know
British
that?
person.
You know she loves a London boy.
So,
Do you see what I did there, though?
I know what you did there.
Hey, I'm just making sure.
Okay, let me start this. Stop it.
Yes. Don't yell
Bickering
at me.
old married couple.
You know who else bickers like an old married couple? Wolfstar.
Wolfstar. Which we're about to talk
Yo,
about.
I forgot to say your rat when we were talking about the pettigrews last
Oh my
episode.
god. Okay, get it out.
Your rat.
If you regularly listen to these episodes, you know B loves her. You're rat. Imagine
Someone,
we get Gary Oldman on here and he says, You're rat.
I would cry. Also, guys,
Okay.
I can I say something?
Yes. And
I
then
like
moving
Sirius
on.
again.
Yay! I'm
Okay.
excited for you.
Anyway,
Okay.
continue, please.
This story is told from the perspective of Harry Potter character Remus Lupin. Nearing his 5th birthday, Lupin was bitten by a werewolf, Greyback. I'm not saying the first name because I just can't.
Mm,
If you listen to the last one, you heard us try to figure that out.
yeah, I was
Fenrir
struggling a
Greyback,
bit.
and became one himself. Soon after, oh yeah, I wanted to mention with Greyback. Apparently, there's a problematic thing on how Greyback and the other werewolves in the story are depicted. It's very like problematic.
Oh no.
I don't know the information. I am not educated enough. I don't even remember what the like minority was that it was
Oh,
talking
wasn't it
about,
gay
but
people or something?
no, I don't
Oh
think
no, that's how
so.
J.K. Rowling wrote them. Never mind.
No, it was something else, but like definitely leave comments if you know. But yeah, I'm not like excusing that. I just wanted to put that out there. There is something with that, but I don't know enough
Okay.
about it. Um so get ready for this one. Soon
Oh no.
after his father died by trigger warning suicide. Um due to the knowledge of the pain and agony his son would endure.
Lyle would never. Not my Lyle.
This Lyle did, though.
Well,
And it's
that's
really
not my
sad
Lyle.
because in a lot of this story, he obviously, like Remus, he lost his dad that early and he very much resents him for it. Because,
Yeah.
like, I feel like when people unalive themselves, even in real life, there's a lot of times where the person suffering the loss is like, why would you do this to me? Like, that's so selfish.
You
Or
know
they
what
feel
gets a
like,
lot of hate? that deals with that I actually really love. 13 Reasons Why.
I haven't seen it.
It gets a lot of hate. And I do some it definitely has some problematic aspects, but the way we see Clay dealing with Hannah's death, like I think it was very well done. And that
Mm.
show, I'm not going to get into that actually. Anyway,
So yeah, Remus resents Lyle for a really long time, like a really long time,
yeah.
up until he like learns more about him, and he's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't like him dying. I just like
Yeah, I
Lyle
don't
being
like
alive.
that.
Okay? He's alive.
It's alive and
Um
well.
and then his mother placed Lupin in Saint Edmund's, a children's home for boys.
Edmund?
Which I wrote,
Narnia?
I get it, but I don't. I get it, but I don't. Like, she's a muggle and she can't really control that. But
She would never abandon her baby. I'm just saying.
even if she
That'd
put
be
him
like
there for protection and then, like, visited him, that's different. But she didn't visit him, she left him there.
that's like saying Euphemia would just put James on a doorstep and leave him
I,
there forever. Like, no, 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 no.
it's, no. But, like, just for the sake of the story and her characterization, I guess, like, I get it. Whatever. We're moving on from that. I'm done talking about it. I'm sick of
Okay.
it. Um, I hate the school name because I can never say it. At St. Edmunds, it just trips my
Saint
brain
Edmund.
and I
Like
miss it.
just like
I know,
just remember like Narnia.
I just stumble over it. I stutter. St. Edmunds. Lupin is looked after by matron. Um, that's her name, I guess. Not her
Matron.
name, but they call her
Yeah, they call
matron.
that that's like a British thing.
Yeah. Who locks him up during the full moon to keep him from hurting any of the other boys while simultaneously preserving his secret. And I wrote, the trauma attached to being locked up as a child for an entire night, hurting yourself because there's nothing else to hurt
Yeah.
because you can't control it. And think like he was probably like 5 years old
Oh, don't
up
bring his
until he's
age into this.
11. How many full moons is
Actually,
that? Like,
don't want to know. I don't want to know. Well, okay, so that's like 6 years times 12. It's 72.
oh,
Oh, that's a brutal
72,
number.
give or take a few, depending on whatever.
Yeah,
That is really scary
that
for a
is. I don't like
child.
that.
Yeah, but that's how it happened, and he has a lot of trauma in this fanfic. So,
Miss Kingbean, why did you do this?
Taylor, what the heck?
Taylor Swift. First you write 7, and now this.
What the flip? What the
Can't
flip?
handle this.
Literally, what the flip?
What the flip?
So that was the first little paragraph that I kept. So that's the backstory. That's his like
Okay.
initial
His lore.
introduction. He's basically an orphan, and yeah. Um, so Albus Dumbledore in the first chapter, I believe, visits the home to give Remus his acceptance letter to Hogwarts and explain his special situation, which I'm pretty sure he already like kind of knew because as a
I
werewolf
would
he could
assume.
sense the magic throughout
Yeah.
they okay in this fan fiction, the story, like the way the author writes about werewolves, like just his own senses, I think it's really interesting and they definitely did their research on
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So that was good. That was a good
Oh,
aspect.
now I want to talk about
Um,
werewolves.
we can later.
You know what
Um,
werewolves I like? Twilight
what
werewolves.
werewolves?
The Twilight
Oh my
ones. They actually have really cool lore.
He befriends, so he goes to Hogwarts. He befriends James Potter, Sirius Black, and Peter Pettigrew. The four soon begin to call themselves the
Oh,
Marauders.
I don't even want to know about how Peter's written in this. Is it bad?
Don't.
Oh God, okay. I'm not gonna ask.
He's so annoying. He's so
Really?
annoying. I remember being like, and I get it, like it was earlier fandom, and that's how most people treated him, but he was so annoying
That's
and I just
still how
hated
people
it.
treating him, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I have seen improvements though. Um, but I remember in the beginning, because he's never really had friends, he's never really, even in canon, like we said
Yeah,
in the last episode, he's never
he
really
moved a
had
lot and
friends. So he takes a long time to warm up to them in the first
aw,
year. And I think I told you about how they created the map. So I'm going
yeah.
to say it again just for the people listening to this episode. So the Marauders map, if you haven't read this fan fiction, basically Remus has like a school map so that he knows where to go. It's a big castle. They need maps. And because he's such a loner at the beginning, he goes around the school and he finds little hideouts and secret passageways
Oh,
and he writes them all in his little map.
I
And
love that
then
so much.
I think in one of their first pranks together that they pull, he introduces this map that like has worked on for so long, and they're all like, "Oh my god, we could use this like to our
You're a
advantage."
genius.
And yeah, I just really like how they kind of gave it a little backstory on how it was created, and it was really cute. Um, and then they add all the magical aspects to it later on and stuff.
Yeah,
So I thought that was cool, and I love the Marauders map. I have one. It's so cool.
I also have one. It's probably my favorite piece of merch that I own.
Ah, it's so.
Because it
Oh, I
like
just love
opens
it.
up and it's got a bunch of like flaps on it. I love
Yeah.
it.
I wish it had little like names in it, but I get why it
Yeah.
doesn't.
My cousin
Um,
has one that has like footprints and it lights up. It doesn't open as big though.
I
She got
wish.
because my she got to go to Harry Potter World.
Oh, so it's more like a device rather than just like a map. Like it
Yeah,
has.
it
Yeah,
only has like two little flaps that open and like it comes with like a wand and it lights up.
that's still cool though. So we're getting into Grant now. I kind of
Your
skipped ahead
favorite.
with the summary because there's just a bunch of random stuff in between.
Yeah.
Um, that
Okay, tell me,
yeah.
who is
Okay, so
Grant Chapman?
so in the summer of 1975, I think it was the summer either before fifth year. I think it was. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, people listening. But so yeah, in the summer of 1975, Lupin discovers that he is gay. I hate that it says Lupin. It's Remus. I feel like a regular Harry Potter fan saying Lupin. Are you doing the math?
Lupin. No, my mom
Oh,
texted me.
oh, I
Tell
thought
my
you were like
sister.
doing some girl math right now.
Girl math. No, I
So
can do
yeah,
girl math in my head. Wait, what's the math I'm doing?
so in the summer of 1975. So he was born 1960.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be 15. So yeah,
15. Girl
before or
math. That's not
after,
girl math. That's just math.
I don't know. It's between fourth or fifth year around that. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. Remus discovers that he is gay after having intimate relations with Grant Chapman, his new roommate at St. Edmund's. Upon returning to Hogwarts, he finds
Whoa.
he has a crush on his friend and classmate Sirius Black. So Grant was like his introduction to homosexuality. And
Ooh.
then because he realized that part of himself, he realized that he had those feelings for Sirius. They were always there, but he didn't
Yeah.
know, right? So
Okay.
yeah, Grant was his awakening, I guess, in a way. And then Sirius awakened him even more.
Ooh.
Um, what else? So yeah, that's just basically how we're introduced to Grant, and then throughout the rest of the fan fiction, he doesn't know that Remus is a wizard for a while. He just knows
Oh.
he
Oh
goes
yeah,
to
because
a
he's
school.
he's a
Yeah,
muggle.
he's a muggle.
Yeah.
Um,
Ha,
and
boring. Imagine being a muggle.
he obviously doesn't know about his werewolf condition either.
It's condition.
So yeah, I think there's one part when like he's away at the oh my god, the boys' home, and he has to
Mhm.
be locked up in that stupid little cellar again. Grant's like, "Where were you? Where'd you go?
Where did you
Where did you go,
go,
love?"
sir? Where have you been, you
So yeah,
geezer?
that's that's who Grant is initially.
Okay.
He's just
So
his
he's
roommate. They were
Remus's.
roommates.
Remus's. Oh my God, they were roommates.
Yeah. And then after his schooling, so this is a big jump again. Oh, and then I'll actually add this because the Wolfstar fic throughout the school, anytime he would go to Hogsmeade, there was a little payphone that he could use. So he would
Uh-huh.
call Grant and then they
Aw.
would talk. And he was like, "Yeah, I have a little crush on my friend. Like, what do I do?" And
Ooh,
then
spilling the tea.
Grant's like his little
His little
relationship
wingman.
advice
I love
because
it.
no
I
one else
love
knows he's
it.
gay.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then throughout the thing, he has like this voice in his head, but it's Grant. And he like
Oh,
talks to Grant in his head.
that's a little
The
weird, but I
voices.
support it. The
Yeah.
voices.
But I talk to Grant in my head all the time too. So you know what? We're the same. Samesies. After his
Samesies.
schooling, Remus helps in the war. Well, all of the Marauders do. Trying to defeat Voldemort. A prophecy regarding the Potter's newborn son compels them to go into hiding.
Harry
Meanwhile,
Potter.
Lupin becomes an advocate for the werewolves on the side of evil. So he's like a spy with the werewolves, the bad ones.
Oh.
And this leads to Sirius Black believing he is a traitor. So at this point they're together,
Serious.
they're dating, his friends know he's gay, like all that.
Oh, is this the fan
Um
fiction with that really sad thing about the letter between Regulus and Sirius, or is that different?
yeah.
It is?
Yeah,
Okay.
that happens in I think fourth year
Ouch.
on Sirius's birthday. Yeah, so
Sirius, you suck.
Regulus writes a letter and he's like, "You have to go hang out with your brother," as if it was from his family, but Sirius burns it and doesn't care or acts like he doesn't care that
Yeah,
Regulus wrote it. Um
but he does.
so
We
yeah.
know it.
Because Remus was working with not working with, but spying on the werewolves and trying to get them to join the good side. Sirius
Yes.
starts believing that he is actually a spy for Voldemort, and he
Uh-oh.
starts to not trust him, and there's a lot of drama in that. So, yeah, it's very angsty at
No
that
kidding.
point. And then, where am I? Yeah, causing turmoil between them. There's one quote that makes me so sad. It's so simple, but it's like they're laying in bed together because they live together at this point. They have a little apartment,
Ooh, a little
and
flat, you mean? It's
yeah, it's called
British.
Flat. Flat. Um,
Flat.
and the quote goes, Remus says, "Miss you," and then Sirius says, "I'm right here," and that it hurts only because like I tried to put myself in that situation, and it's like you're trying to connect with someone again. You're like, "I miss you." He didn't even say
Mm-hmm.
I, he said miss you.
Aw,
And then he
bro.
goes, "I'm right here. Like I'm here. I'm here for
Mm-hmm.
you." But he's not at the same time, you know. I don't know. It hurts my heart.
That
So,
sucks.
um it's hard to like explain the depths when you're not like reading every single thing that happens, but I'm doing my best, okay?
No, you're doing amazing.
Um while Remus is staying with a wolf pack to enlist their help, Pettigrew, being the real spy, betrays James and Lily, who are consequently killed. Black
Sad.
is subsequently, why are they using all these big words? Framed for revealing their whereabouts.
Okay.
And that's when the Mars bar happens. So Remus leaves the werewolves. He has no idea what happened. It's like November 1st or 2nd or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes home and he's like, "Okay, I had a fight with Sirius before I left. I'm going to bring him a Mars bar." He has two of
Aw.
them. because they love
Didn't even know they
chocolate.
had Mars bars in the UK. I
I
thought that was
guess
a
they do.
Canadian thing.
So, yeah, he buys two of them. He goes home. He's not there. He's like, where? Maybe he's
Where
still at
has
work.
my boyfriend gone?
Where is my husband?
I
Um,
don't have a husband.
and the phone is ringing. The phone, the
The
phone's
phone is
ringing.
ringing. It's an emergency. It could be serious.
It's not serious though, it's
It could be
Mary.
serious though.
It's Mary McDonald, and
Mary McDonald.
she says, Remus, something
Something
awful has
awful has
happened.
happened. Yeah, that I've heard that on TikTok. There's
And
like an audio.
yeah, that's the audiobook. Um, you can imagine what is said. And
Sirius is a traitor. He's gone to Azkaban.
he's gone. They're all gone. Peter's gone.
They
They're all
killed
gone.
Peter? Oh my god.
And then, with no way to cope with his friends' deaths and Black's seeming betrayal, Remus shuts himself off from the wizarding world, finding comfort in his old friend, Grant Chapman.
Hi,
And
Grant. Welcome back.
basically, I already loved Grant at this point, but this is where, like, you really, really love him because Grant in this story is all that he has. Like, that's Remus is everything now. You're showing me more things while I'm
Sorry.
talking about sad stuff.
Sorry. Anyway, just trying to keep the mood up. Ahem.
The two of them, so Remus and Grant, become a couple and they
I
live in their
didn't know they
flat,
dated.
which was Remus's or Sirius's flat that he paid for. This is kind of
Ouch.
fucked up. Oh, my brother just
Remus,
got home.
what were you thinking?
So yeah, they lived in the flat that Sirius literally paid for with his money
That's
because Remus was
actually,
broke.
oh, that's so fucked up.
But I mean, that's his fault for, well, not his fault. I know he didn't actually do it, but they thought he was a
Yeah.
murderer. So why not take advantage of that? Um, and then, so yeah, they lived together for years from 1981
Years. Oh,
until
wow.
Remus gets recruited to work at Hogwarts for one
So
year.
year 3.
Yeah.
Freeze frame.
And so I think he lives like away from magic. At this point, I think Grant knows about his wizardness, his
Well,
werewolfness.
yeah, he would kind of have to.
Yeah, it's kind of important. Um,
Just a bit.
and so yeah, he gets called in to work at Hogwarts and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll take it because it's really hard to get a job and I want to feel like I'm doing something. So he does it.
Yeah.
Grant's off doing whatever he does. He's a silly little guy in his muggle world. I think he was a really big advocate for the gay rights movement at that time.
Whoa.
So
Gay
that was fun.
rights.
Yeah, he played a little part. He was there at Stonewall. When did that happen?
I'm sorry, what? Why is that in a fan fiction?
It's not. I
Oh,
made it
okay.
up.
Oh, that was like a long time ago, I think. Like the 20s or something, maybe? I'll Google it.
I'm Googling it.
No, I'm Googling it. My desk is so creaky today.
1969. So,
Nope, you're wrong.
yeah, they would have been like 9 years old. So, no, he wasn't there. Well, maybe he was. Little baby
Maybe, who
Grant.
knows? I just searched up
But anyways,
Stonewall, and like the only things that come up is like Pinterest, like Stonewall ideas. Whoops.
yeah. But anyways, he did have like an aspect in his life where he was like, gay rights, yeah. Be
Woohoo!
pride. He fought for our rights.
I bet he likes Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Well,
I know someone who
Sirius
likes
does.
Freddie Mercury.
Me.
You like Freddie Mercury?
Yeah?
I
What
didn't know
the heck?
that. Hmm.
I love Freddie Mercury. I
Well, I don't
watched
know.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
I know you're a Bowie girl, but
Of course. All
Does
the
it?
Young Dudes has Queen. It has all the young, or David
I
Bowie. It
don't
has all
I
these,
don't like
like,
Queen very
all.
much. I don't like her
Fuck
music.
you. Fuck
What?
you. I'm kidding. Let me continue.
Wow.
Okay?
You know what?
So, canonically, Remus struggles with getting jobs and keeping them because he's a
Yep, because
werewolf,
he's a
especially in the
werewolf.
wizarding world. So, he takes the Hogwarts job and he says, okay, I'll be back for
Period.
summer. I'll come back to you, Grant. I'll be back, I promise. And
Oh
he
my God,
does.
did
Don't worry.
did Grant cheat on him?
No, no, never.
Did
So
Sir
yeah, he
did
goes.
Remus cheat on Grant?
No.
Okay, good.
So he goes to Hogwarts, Prisoner of Azkaban. He sees Harry, and they don't write about it very much. They just kind of like talk about seeing
Okay.
him. And like I guess it's not about that, but like it's very important. And I wish
Mhm.
that it showed his perspective with like Harry
Yeah.
in a way, but that's just because I love Harry and I love Remus and I
That's
wish
because you're literally Harry Potter.
and Remus
She's only
in one.
interested in you because she thinks you're the chosen one.
But I am the chosen one. Okay, sorry. I'm kidding. So yeah. And then of course in Prisoner of Azkaban, Sirius is revealed to be innocent, and that changes things for Remus because then he's like, oh, now I have two
Oh shit.
mans.
Yeah.
What do I do? I'm in a love triangle right now.
Not the asshole.
Um,
Break up with the one, marry a fish.
Regulus?
Yeah.
The mermaid?
Yeah.
So
I'm a
then
mermaid.
he leaves his job at Hogwarts because Snape sucks and he exposed him. And then he goes back home to Grant, and Sirius ends up showing up there because it's literally his flat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you changed some things. And there's this whole thing I
Hmm.
remember because Grant's a muggle and they end up getting a TV, but Sirius doesn't like TVs. Like, he's
Wizards
fully
don't
against
have
them.
TVs?
I don't know if they don't have them, but Sirius didn't, and he didn't like
Why?
them.
What's wrong with TV?
I don't know. It's
What a silly
Sirius.
guy.
He's a silly man. But yeah, he was like, bro, you put a fucking TV in my fucking flat? Like, you're kidding. And yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. And then there's this whole thing where Grant can kind of just tell that Remus doesn't know what to do and he's conflicted, and he like is so happy that Sirius is back, but he's seen all these like
Mm-hmm.
stages of Remus's grief, like he's been there through all of it. And so he's very protective of Remus and he just wants him to be happy, essentially. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
And
Don't cry. It's
so
okay.
because Sirius is back, Grant moves to Brighton for a new job after realizing that Remus is still in love with Sirius, and they reconcile. And there's one quote, I think it's not All the Young Dudes, but it's a spin-off. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if the same author wrote it, but it's from Grant's perspective, and it says,
Ooh.
Grant had no idea that two people could be so angry with each other and so much in love. And I
Aw.
just,
That's
that's
so
Wolfstar to
sad.
me. That's Wolfstar.
It
And
is. It really is.
the reason why I love him so much is because he was never like mad about it. He was always understanding. He always just wanted what was best, and he knew
Mm-hmm.
that Remus would be happier with Sirius and with that aspect that he lost. And so he
Yeah.
just kind of like took a step back and he's like, okay, I want you to be happy. And then there's an epilogue where Grant meets Remus's son, Teddy, and they reminisce on his whole relationship that he had with Remus because Remus was dead at that point. Um, so that's all of the summarization I had, and I have a couple quotes of Grant, just because it's Grant. I have to appreciate him
Yeah.
so very much. Um, So, this is this was way before anything bad happened with James and Lily. This is I think Grant was in a all-time low in his life and he was like
Aw.
drinking too much and the thing with Remus and Grant is they were very much like magnets and they
Mm-hmm.
would like just know when the other was in trouble and they would find each other and it's just I love it. And so Grant says, I bloody well believe you too. Can't get rid of you, can I? Grant grinned, his first genuine smile so far. It made Remus feel somewhat easier. Like magnets, you and me. Always
Aw.
snap back together.
That's
And
cute. I
then
like that.
this is after Sirius comes back.
Okay.
This one. And
Don't
this is when
cry.
Grant is like, okay, I'm gonna leave. Like, I'm gonna leave you
Mm-hmm.
guys to it. I'm going. You'll break my heart if you go now, Remus said, aware he sounded sulky and petulant. Grant shook his head lightly, holding his ground. I'm sorry, love, but it's breaking my heart to stay.
Aw.
And yeah. And then there's another part. You've been fine, Grant smiled without a trace of blame. You've been my little bit of magic. My little bit of magic. And also I have a headcanon with that. So
I'm gonna throw a pen at you when I see you.
after Remus is dead. LOL.
Stop.
Um
Why would you say that? Oh, yeah, isn't
I
there like a
just
sad part where it's
headcanon.
like, and then the letters stopped coming?
Yeah, I have that quote written. But I headcanon that Grant like goes there every time it's Remus's birthday every year and he
Aw.
visits the grave, I mean. And
Oh, that's not aw.
is
Never mind.
yeah. And I know everyone headcanons Mary to be like obliviated, but I don't. So I think that she would have gone one time and they ran into each other and they were like, "Oh, like how did you
Who are
know him?" "Oh,
you?
I knew him from school." And
Yeah,
yeah, all that stuff. And it's just like a really bittersweet moment and I think that they like become friends and besties and then I
that's
actually made a
cute.
TikTok where I wrote like a little piece of it and at the end it was like Grant felt the same magic that he hadn't felt in years and it's like
Oh, oh, I
I
love
love it.
that. I really like that.
And then I have two more quotes and then I can
Okay,
shut up about Grant.
okay.
So yeah, this is the letters one. In early 1998, the letters stopped and Grant knew. Sometimes he thought he felt it deep inside, like a thread being cut. Remus was dead. And ripped my heart out, to say
Yeah,
the
no
least.
kidding.
And then this is the other Grant perspective one, I guess. And basically, this is like way further in the future. He has like adopted children and takes them in. He's a
Okay.
foster parent and he
Oh,
has a boyfriend or fiance. I don't know. It was like 2016.
someone. He's got someone.
He's got a partner,
2016. That's like my favorite year. Killer
right?
Clowns, pumping music. That
Killer
shit.
Clowns.
There was. 2016 was
So
wild.
I actually saw something about the clowns this morning. It was scary. Um,
Really?
but this is a conversation between Grant and one of the kids that he's like fostering, I
Okay.
guess. I don't remember exactly. Don't come for me.
Okay.
I used to be scared of dogs too. Are you still? Nah, I lived with a werewolf and he cured me. Really? Kieran's eyes went big again and no longer afraid. Grant felt a rush of affection for the sweet little face. He loved kids. Really, he confirmed. And let me tell you, he was one of the nicest people you could possibly meet and not scary at all. He liked chocolate
Aw.
and eggs for breakfast and reading books and watching telly, and he never bit anyone.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, so I love Grant.
Grant Chapman.
Grant Chapman.
You know what I hate? That like the fandom doesn't accept OCs except for Grant.
Yeah, because there's so
Like,
many
why does
ways that
Grant
you
have,
can bring in
yeah.
OCs.
Why does Grant get special privileges? It's because he's a man. Because he's
Yeah.
a gay man.
But I I imagine that he's real just because I don't want Remus to be lonely. Especially learning from the last episode that Lyle, he didn't go live with Lyle
Bestie,
again.
he was lonely.
No, he wasn't.
Accept it.
No,
Accept it. You
he
have
wasn't
to.
lonely. He
He
had
was.
Grant.
No, he
He had
didn't.
Grant.
Grant is a figment of your imagination.
No, he's not actually. Did you know that Grant is based on a real person?
Who's he based
He's out
on?
there.
Grant Chapman,
The
where
author's
are you?
friend,
Where are you? I want to know who
right?
Miss King Bean is so bad. Bro's just like out
I
there.
just
Could be you.
apparently
Could be
he
me.
right. Oh my god, I'm Grant.
Oh my God. It could be JKR. It's not.
How
It's
could
not. I'm kidding.
never in a million
No.
years he would never be like that. But yeah, apparently he knows too. The person they know that they are Grant, and they probably see all
Grant,
the
where are
people who
you?
love him.
Where
Come on the
are you?
podcast.
Come on the podcast.
Do you want to
I'd
know the
love to have
story
guests on the
of?
podcast. That'd be so cool.
Do you want to know the story of like every time? Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you anyway. You don't get a choice.
Okay, I love that. Do you want to know? I'm just gonna tell you anyway. You did that a couple times.
Um, I know I like doing that. I was listening to the audiobook for all the young dudes because I don't like reading on my phone. I just don't.
Hmm.
So I listened to it, and I would listen to it every night when I'm getting ready for bed. Like in the shower, I would have it playing, and then
Yeah,
like doing my
makes
skincare, I
sense.
just had it playing.
Okay, cool. You were listening
And
to it.
in the shower. And there's a reason why I'm saying this
Okay.
because the bathroom with the shower in my house is right next to my parents' room.
Oh
And
God.
one time my I came out and my dad was like, "What are you listening to?" And I was like, he was like, "Are you listening to like a Harry Potter audiobook thing?" And I was like, "How do I tell him that it's Harry
How do
Potter's
I
dead
tell him?
dad's gay friends, lovers?"
Oh my God. Just say yeah.
So yeah, no, I was just like, "Oh, it's just like a fan written thing." And he's like, "Okay," and then
Mhm.
never mentioned it again. I was like, "Thank God."
That's so funny.
I just figured that they couldn't hear me or hear the thing. I thought it was muffled, but I
That's
guess he
funny.
could hear.
He
So
was
yeah.
listening out the door with a cup, trying to get all the
He's
tea
like
on the fanfic.
he's like, "Wait, what are you listening to? I kind of want to read it."
Wait, this is kind of good. Tell me the title. Drop the name.
God, I love Taylor Swift. I love her books. I love her stories. But
I
yeah,
hate
that's
Taylor Swift. I'm kidding.
don't
I'm kidding.
say that.
Don't come
People
for
will
me.
get so
Don't.
mad.
Oh my. Taylor fans are scary. Apparently, they've just been comparing Olivia Rodrigo's new album to Taylor Swift. I'm like, can you guys actually stop? Like, it's getting a little
Even
annoying.
the one song that was apparently like sampled from Cruel Summer, I don't even hear it. Like I don't hear the
Yeah, I don't
similar
know.
whatever.
The only sampled song on hers that I hear is the Miley Cyrus one. But that one's
Yeah,
also,
but
but Miley Cyrus's song is sampled from another song, so it's not even.
why are people always putting women against women? What's that about?
Because men hate women and women hate women. It is the only thing we agree on.
Right? Also, I just remembered one of the ships in the
What
fanfic.
ships? What ship?
Um,
Is it
they
a good
did
ship?
give Peter a lover, but it was
Oh
Dorcas.
no. Oh, I don't ship that. She's a lesbian.
But I am
I'm
happy that he
dumb.
got
She's a
someone, so.
lesbian.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Peter was
I'm
so
happy that
fucking
he's
annoying.
right, Peter. Well, well written, Peter. Give him to me now.
Give it to me now.
That is disgusting. Give it to me now.
Next episode is going to be song lyrics. We're gonna talk about some songs that we like that we relate. Oh, we're gonna have to wait for a certain
What?
song to come out.
What song?
The one I told you about. I don't want to say it on the podcast
You
yet.
can cut it out.
I have so many I don't even know what ones I want to do.
I don't know. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry
I
Potter.
was singing that earlier.
Ron. Ron. Ron Weasley. Ron. Ron.
Okay, you
Ron
have to close this out.
Weasley. Snape. Snape. Severus Snape. Well, this has been a very eventful Marauders at Midnight. Thank you for listening. Go
You're
go
welcome.
like a Grant Chapman episode. Episode? Edit. Go.
Edit.
I'm gonna shut up now. Oh my
There's
god.
there's none. I don't get any of them anymore. I'm so sad.
I'm gonna
But it's
yeah.
fine.
Like you said, people hate all the undudes. I mean, now I definitely don't have to read it because you told me all of it. Whoops.
Oh, goodbye.
What? You're leaving me?